This NBA Draft Props edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Bird Dog Shorts. Dominate summer with an amazing pair of shorts and a free Yeti style tumbler when you order over at birddogs.com/pool. That's birddogs.com/pool.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. It's the true pageantry of the pageantry to the draft, right? Will there be a freezer on the premises?
That's the.
Will John Morant be there with his toy
fake gun? Yes, I mean, I could see how you could confuse. John Morant.
No, Sean.
Ryan, don't worry. If you flash a gun live stream, it's only a 24 game suspension.
4 games in the NFL.
Wait, what is it? How many games did he get?
It was the equivalent of 5 games in the NFL. I translate all suspensions to NFL games. It's a 5-game suspension, which is that about what Greg Hardy got for throwing his girlfriend on a bed of guns?
The NFL suspensions. I mean, again, Tom Brady got 4 for deflating a football compared to Ray Rice. Wow. You could go down a rabbit hole.
What did Ray Lewis get for the screwdriver incident?
Oh, I don't think he got suspended.
You know, Ray Lewis. Yeah, he it's like the classic SEC defense. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Chat is live. We're going to be joined by the guys from the NBA Gambling Podcast in a little bit. I'm rocking my Eagles gear, Ryan, because I'm not supporting the Sixers until maybe next NBA play. I'm still really annoyed the way they went out. They went out super soft, and I've just been engaged in some social media beef with one former Dallas Cowboy, Dez Bryant, who's going to be at the Fantasy Football Expo, who is also going to be in the flag football game. We are also competing. We're hosting the Friday night Fantasy Football Expo party, so I plan to be going toe to toe with Dez Bryant. We've been chirping at each other on Twitter, Ryan, going back and forth. Pretty fun.
Yeah, there's nothing satirical about this. This is a very serious situation, and anyone who is there,
satire here.
When the moment happens when Sean corner what do you want to, what's your cornerback
I've been going
name?
with Green Island, but I'm open if you have a better suggestion.
So when Green Island trots out onto the field across the way from Dez Bryant and goes for that jam.
Yes,
what's the move? What are you looking to do? You looking to get some work on that inside shoulder? You hoping to just be a speed bump along his go route?
Ryan, you may have to adjust the frames per second on the camera because how lightning fast my hands are.
I think people are probably just seeing a blur.
It's probably just
we don't have we don't have that speed yet. But here's what I would say: if Dez Bryant was a true promotions man, he would let you shut him down.
Oh, if he wanted something to go viral, yeah. I mean,
you know what? Send Dez a copy of you touting any of your first touchdown wins from last year, and then find out what company he's there as a founder of.
Right, you're saying too much already because you're gonna ruin the surprise.
Check us in Canton. You can find us in Canton.
Check us out in Canton, Ohio. All right, enough messing around. Joining us on the line from the NBA Gambling Podcast, Mr. Lonte Smith. What's happening, Lonte?
What's up, fellas? Glad to be with you guys, man. Talking some NBA draft. One of the better times of the year for me, especially.
Ooh.
Now wait, so you're a diehard NBA draft props guy?
Yeah, man. I got all 60 picks wrote up on the site today.
Let's go.
Marked up.
Check out those mock drafts. And again,
a two round mock draft in the NBA is basically intense. A 7-round mock draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, can't wait to dive in, get some of these best bets. Of course, we do love long shots here on the Sports Gambling Podcast. As far as Lead Pipe Locks, this guy Lead Pipe Lock when it comes to hosting podcasts for SGPN, you know him, you love him from the NBA Gambling Podcast and the WNBA Gambling Podcast, heating up Mr. Terrell Furman, aka Villain Rel. What's up, Terrell?
Nothing much. Just a slight 59% of all my bets are hitting in the WNBA. That not to mention my locks that are doing very, very well. So, I'm perfectly fine in the WNBA. Like better than John Morant was in the West. I can say that much for certain.
Oh,
but
wow.
NBA draft time is it's not a time for me. I'm not a big NBA draft guy.
I like that. I like that. That's beautiful. And I will say,
so we have one pro NBA draft guy, one anti NBA draft guy.
It's like any good show. You need the pro and the con case.
It's like that CNN Crossfire.
Can we get a?
It's just like.
Go ahead, Terrell.
We're all guessing and trying to figure out what everybody's doing, and then honestly, truly, about 70% of the guys here are like going to be out of the league in a year or two.
Especially, I mean, the NBA draft.
These guys aren't even going to see the court.
There's 10 guys that 10 guys that matter. Of course, you're talking to a guy who I don't like to bring it up, but number one mock NFL draft.
As you bring it up,
again, I don't like to just let the record state number one NFL mock draft
in the
2023. Show me a better mock draft, Ryan. I won 3 separate contests. I was winning contests. I didn't even know I was entered in.
Would it be safe to say worldwide leader?
Worldwide leader. Yes. Worldwide leader in the 2023 NFL mock draft and USFL picks ATS. But we'll save those. We'll save those for that show.
Can I make a request for the media team? We need a pig vomit-esque WNBA.
WNBA.
We need one of those out there. All right. I mean, honestly, like I would think the NBA guys would love the narrative shit.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
personally, as an NBA diehard myself, I'm loving this.
Yes,
I am loving this. Well, I have takes, by the way. I can't wait to fire some up. Well, I don't know if you have you really gotten into the scouting reports, because this one stood out to me. Brandon Miller. Teams really impressed with his ability to deliver a murder weapon without being seen on social media with a gun. Sean, very impressive attribute for a college basketball player to have. Perhaps this is the difference between someone who paid attention at school at a great higher learning education university like Alabama and someone like John Morant.
Where did John Morant go to school?
He was a private school pussy.
Oh, okay.
At least
Marquette,
in high school.
Right?
Yeah.
He went to Murray State.
Yeah, Murray State.
Marquette. That's embarrassing. That's like the Bill Snyder Kansas State thing. We're gonna get a 3-star review.
One private school pussy, another private school pussy. They're all the same.
They're all the same. Let's start there, Lonte. It seemed like early on in the process and leading up to it, Brandon Miller was a lock to be the number 2 pick. Now the odds seem to be flipping. From my research, from what I've seen, I like the Hornets to take Brandon Miller second because you're getting plus 170 right now. Am I crazy? Obviously, Scoot Henderson is the other guy people are considering, but it feels like the draft starts at number 2. Obviously, Wembanyama is the lock there for number 1. But where do you have Brandon Miller going, 2 or 3?
Yeah, I have him going 3 simply because I think that it's a high chance that Charlotte can take. I think they can trade that pick to try to get Brandon Ingram or Zion. So that's the only reason why I have them actually taking him, because I think it's a higher chance that they'll be able to move Scoot, because that's the team that everybody's been asking for. Pelicans have been asking, the Jazz, the Magic. Seems like everybody that has multiple picks are trying to trade up and get that second pick. So I think drafting Scoot just gives them more leverage to be able to move it and maybe get Zion, who's probably at his lowest as far as value wise, as he's been. So I think that's more interesting to look at from that perspective, as far as them moving the pick rather than them taking Scoot. So, I mean, I wouldn't hate it taking, Brandon. Brandon Miller is definitely the better fit.
Yeah, I mean, I like it just because you're getting plus 170. It feels like, especially with the Zion news, it's way closer to a coin toss too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
To Terrell's point, like we are kind of obviously just making some guesses. So if you can find plus odds on these things, not great.
I've been working the. It turns out Zion's load management coach has a lot of intel.
Oh man,
on a lot of players.
That woman keeps going off. She is. I mean, there's just a lot of screenshots that she's putting out.
People are against what Elon's up to, but I say let him play.
Again, if you're talking to a guy or a gal and your only form of communicating with them is Snapchat, you should very much consider that this may not be the long-lasting relationship.
You may not be the one, yes.
Yeah, he just might not be into you.
Yeah, and to clarify from previous episodes, the woman has retired from pornography in 2019. Right? Some people have been saying she was a porn star, Ryan, not active currently. So
does OnlyFans count as being a porn star, or is that just small business?
That's a very.
I have a just comment on that whole industry. Why is it no matter what level you're at, you're a star? Yeah,
there's no porn supporting actresses. I think it's just they're trying to be nice. Like, hey, you're willing to do that.
You're a star.
Does OnlyFans have to be a porn site? Like, if I start OnlyFans, can I put my pics up there?
Oh, yes.
Honestly, the difference
you might have trouble competing with with some of the other girls, because I've seen girls on there who go nude and do sports pics. So you might be behind the 8 ball, Terrell, but who knows? Yeah,
I mean the difference between like the Action app and OnlyFans is basically just the clientele
one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I do like Brandon Miller because you get the plus odds. But Lonte, let's kick things off. What's one bet you like so far here?
Man, one of my favorites is Bilal Coulibaly to go in the top 10. That's plus 220.
It's on my list.
Yeah, that's plus 220 right now. He's pretty much the highest riser in the draft so far. He hasn't worked out for a lot of teams because he was still playing. You know, he's a teammate of Victor Wembanyama, so they were playing in the finals. I think they got swept actually, but throughout that playoff, he played extremely well. Upside is there defensively. He has to get better jump shot wise, but I mean, outside of that, man, I think plus price. I think his over under is at 11.5, and it's juiced to the under. So I mean, just from a numbers perspective, you got to think. I mean, it's a higher chance of him going 10 or 9 than it is for him to go 11 to me, because Orlando, I think, has the 11th pick, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And they technically probably can get their point guard with their 6th pick. So I don't think they'll be able to, I don't think they'll draft him there. So I think he'll go way before 10. I think between 7 and 10 is a good range for him. So I like the plus 220 on that for him to go inside the top 10.
That's one I had as well, and I did way less handicapping than Lonte. I just saw the 11.5 minus 140.
Yeah, right.
And then you were getting, and it was like plus 400 even like a week ago. So
quick question about the French players.
Sure.
Has there been a French player that's come into the league? Maybe I haven't been paying super close attention that has wowed us with their grit and hardworking, great basketball play.
Tony Parker. I think Tony Parker was scrappy.
Well, besides Tony Parker,
Batum is good. Well, he was good.
I feel like we're making, like, I feel like as a league, and I always like to shout out to Robert Swift. If those of you who don't know who Robert Swift was, he was a big man that the Seattle Supersonics drafted out of high school way back when, simply because of his size and his wingspan, and he turned into nothing. And
I just didn't know we were going to talk about Robert Smith today.
I sit here wondering, like, are we going back to that well just because we're just full of measurables? I mean, again, Wembanyama.
Well, it does seem to happen.
Best prospect ever. Really?
It does seem to happen with the
Wembanyama and Zion walk onto a basketball
Was it Trevor
court.
Lawrence like the best prospect ever coming out of NCAA?
Yeah, people just love hyping guys up. I know it's not necessarily a draft prop bet, but Terrell, what's your take on Wembanyama to win Rookie of the Year? He's obviously the odds-on favorite. You even have to lay some juice.
Minus 225.
Minus 225. He could get hurt for NBA Rookie of the Year. Historically, I think they looked at like the last 5 guys who were minus odds to win NBA Rookie of the Year, and the only one who did it was Durant. Like 1 out of the last 5 actually did it. Would you be betting Wembanyama at his current price for NBA Rookie of the Year?
Absolutely not. No, no, I'm not. I mean, come on. He's a big.
Terrell's a fellow dog.
Don't you just throw a coin?
But listen to this.
Go ahead.
X-Files, please. Because Ben Simmons once won Rookie of the Year in his second year in
Chet
the
Holmgren.
league.
Yes.
Chet Holmgren is still there.
That is
7-footer versus 7-footer Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
We'll see who comes out
like
the
that
cage
play.
match alive. And I don't know, man. I'm just saying there's a lot of good guys in this class, and all it takes is for Victor Wembanyama to have one thing flare up on him, and he be out maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks of a season, and that could potentially be the award. So I'd just rather take the plus price. I know he's a great talent and everything, but there's a lot of room for error here.
Growing pains are a real thing as a parent. And when someone is really tall and long, they have,
there's so many issues. And I mean, even look at Chet himself. Same thing last year. Chet is plus 450. I love that. I love that angle, Terrell. That's I mean, that's locked in because and also to your point, like
there's precedence. There is precedence for a guy second year in the league getting a Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and much like the Sixers, hey, if there's any sort of like minor foot thing or leg thing, they're going to be super cautious with him and sit him down. Oh, hey, what worst case? We get another top pick. Like the NBA is just some fucking Ponzi scheme to collect more picks and more top level talent. At some point, you have to actually draft the guys and play basketball.
Look at Denver.
Imagine this as well. The Thunder were a hop, skip, and a jump from the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
If they make the playoffs and Chet has a really good year, say Chet and Victor's years are comparable, that playoff bump that the Thunder are going to be on and the wins that they'll probably have over, the Spurs, it's probably going to give him a boost. So I really do like Chet at plus 450.
Chet versus Wembanyama is going to set the game back. Just two stick figures out there banging into each other.
They might start a fire.
Bully ball.
You get two pieces of kindling, Ryan. It's gonna get a little brush fire going. Kramer, what do you got? Toss out a draft prop.
So I just to be clear, because I also want to document all of this, just in case any of the so do we have any other bets other than that? Other than the top 10 plus 220 for Bilal?
I am throwing in Brandon Miller second pick at plus 170.
Okay. Well, so
just because the odds are too juicy now, it's swung too hard.
So is there any the fact that they're still offering number 1 pick odds? Do we have any takes on that? You can lay 20,000 to win 100.
Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I learned
Kramer may actually have access to this market.
I am in protest in the show during the show right now. I am protesting the fact that we are going to talk about anybody else at number 1.
Well, sometimes as I consume content in the space, I hear what are considered to be sharp minds talk about if you feel there is an edge, even if it's a small edge, it would be a great bet. And if people are saying 100%, I'm not seeing minus infinity here. I'm seeing this is like we need to pool our DGen liquidity.
I heard CJ Sullivan, host of Bottom Line Bombs, Man in the Box. He said there's a term for those kind of bets where you like lay 20,000. They're called bridge jumper bets. Basically, if you bet it, it means you're betting all your money on it. And then if it doesn't hit, well, you guys can do the math on that.
So it would be $1 million to win $5,000.
Yeah.
Let's do
easy
it.
money.
That's a great bet.
Well, we have to go back to
you weren't gonna make $5,000.
We already have some line of credit there, Ryan. We got to get them to bump it up to $1 million.
We discussed this on the air about how we can walk into Circa with nothing and just start gambling.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Shout out to Derek, real host.
And got some. We will be going out there for the Circa sign up weekend coming at the end of August. There, more details to come on that. Kramer, do you have a bet you want to give out?
Do I? No. So we're officially saying no. There's no value in the first pick because last year, remember, we thought we had a lock first pick and then things changed.
Yes.
Okay. No, I actually think the way to play it is the opposite of what you're saying, which it seems like Henderson's a lock to be the second pick. Why is it minus 250? From what Twitter researching, I don't see a ton of smoke. To what Lonte said earlier, it seems like the game theory around the people that sit around the campfire and talk about the potential trade, one of the most polarizing issues in the NBA. They all seem to think that the bet, like the way that all goes down, is for Henderson, not Miller. So, like playing the probability, then it doesn't seem like minus 250. I know this is not fun, but again, minus 250 is suggesting an implied probability of what, Sean, like 60 something %. And so, yeah,
like 67.
minus 2. Yeah. So it would almost be like, I don't see the case for Brandon Miller, I guess. Like I don't
you can get Wemby, Scoot, and Miller like exacta, and you can get under 200. That's a great bet, I think.
Yeah,
so like minus 180.
I think because they have the exact trifecta.
Wait, but are you on Miller going? Wait.
No, Sean's on.
Are you on Miller? And no, Sean's on Miller.
Sean's on Miller.
Sean is. Not
yeah. We're on Scoot going second.
Oh yeah, everybody else is on Scoot. Yeah, Sean, you're on your own.
But I'm saying if you like Scoot Henderson to go number 2, you should probably just play the top 3 picks exact order
because you can get a
Wembanyama, Henderson.
So that was my
Miller.
play number 1.
Okay,
minus
because
180?
everybody stole my thunder, and I was trying to wait patiently. That is my play number 1. Just take Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, go 1, 2, 3 minus 140. That's the price I got. That's how I played it. And I think that, ultimately all the trade stuff, I think that's just talk. I don't think a trade is going to happen.
So you think Charlotte is going to be the one that drafts Scoot?
There's no way that they are going to let a porn star dictate that they trade Zion Williamson. Like, that's not going to happen. And if they do trade him, they're going to wait till the season starts because they don't want it to seem like a porn star dictated them trading for Zion Williamson. So,
what if she leaks the tapes?
Yeah. But again,
that would be the best draft.
She would then no longer
ever
be a retired porn star.
Yes, then she's coming. She's
she's really just planning her way back in the industry at this point.
Literally coming out of retirement.
Wow.
I had to get that one in.
Getting into the amateur market.
No, but why would you trade Zion now? He's at the lowest value. Give it to the start of the season, to your point, or the trade deadline. Maybe he decides he wants to play basketball. I know he has sodas everywhere. She just roasted him in every aspect of his life.
Poor guy.
But yeah, like maybe get him playing a little bit and playing well and moving on from this, because you know how the internet is. This stuff's going to be old news in a couple months. So you're trading at the lowest possible point here if you're the Pelicans. I'd be pretty surprised if they move him. But again, this is the NBA. No one knows what's going to happen. I'll tell you what I do know what's going to happen. I'm going to keep wearing my bird dog shorts regardless. I'm on day 9, right?
Really? Oh wow! Look at you going.
Are those the same shorts?
I have 2 pairs of shorts, 2 pairs, and a pair of joggers. I've been rotating. There was a load of wash done in between there, but I'm just never taking these things off. They are so freaking comfortable. I feel bad promoting bird dogs because it means other people are going to get bird dogs, and there'll be less bird dog shorts for me to wear. That's how much I love.
And what did they look like again? What they look like?
Let's get them up. Hey, look,
yeah.
you want to?
Yeah. Let's get a close up.
Yeah, let's. Oh yeah, look at. Maybe a little higher, Sean.
Man.
Zoom out. Like get the there. Yeah, I would say this. Here's the thing, Terrell. Worth noting. As you get, I know you're like both of y'all younger. Maybe priorities are different, but the idea of having some sort of clothing that is capable of going through 2 full weeks of being worn while still being comfortable and not emitting any odors.
No sweat. The anti-sweat wicking technology is amazing. We're going to Vegas for a quick day trip, knock out some episodes, and it's 100 degrees in Vegas. Normally it's just a nightmare for rocking shorts or rocking anything. But bird dogs, super soft, great, keep you cool, dry all day long. Go to birddogs.com/pool, enter promo code pool, get the free Yeti style tumbler with your order. Again, you should just buy these things straight up. The tumbler is awesome, but birddogs.com/pool. You won't want to take your bird dogs off, we promise you. And I can live by that short promise.
And if you are wearing them in Vegas, the zipper pod, they have some zippers so make sure if you're at a
players cards.
Let's just make maybe you're in a place where you're relaxed, your feet might be up, maybe there's some moving around. You got zippers just in case.
I've been hammered at a sportsbook many a time. You lean back.
No, I wasn't talking about a sportsbook.
Yeah, there's other places.
Quick aside. We were at this is to date ourselves, but it was the debut of the Wildcat And Sean was so wasted. If you've ever been to Vegas, they give you the drinks in those kind of small, tall glasses. And he just started stacking them in this cup holder and just smashing. There's just broken glass under his seat as he was just smashing glass after glass. He proceeded to hit like a plus 400 money line on the Dolphins. Versus
It was
the
pretty
Patriots.
great. It was pretty good.
Right, back to the NBA.
Lonte, what next? What do you got next for us here as far as NBA draft prop bets?
Let's see. What do I have? Man. So I got Cam Whitmore at 2-1 to go 5th overall. To the Pistons. And he actually was even money like earlier in the day, so he's kind of moving against me. But I honestly don't see any spot that anybody else can go, because essentially I'm thinking it's going to go Wemby, Scoot, Miller, Amen Thompson, and then Cam, because he just fits the Pistons system more. They're log jammed at the big, so Jarris Walker is probably not the best, I guess, candidate for it. He's been linked to Detroit in multiple reports. He killed the workouts. All like implications are saying that they like him with Monty being there. So man, I think at 2-1, I think that's a bargain for him to go there. And if you look at they have a top 5 exact order.
Ooh.
The two favorites are like with him at the 5th spot. So I mean, I don't get the 2-1. It's more of a numbers thing to me. I mean, I think I like the fit also, but I mean, if he's the favorite to go, 5th in each one of the top categories in the top 5 exacta, I mean, 2-1, I think that's a bargain.
Yeah, and kind of just added on to that.
Still my picks.
Oh damn, my bad, bro.
No,
I mean,
we should have talked about this beforehand. No,
I mean, bro, I got like thousands of picks. So I mean,
what do you got, Terrell? We'll let you go for next. What do you got?
There we go.
No, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I was just echoing the Cam Whitmore. I did have that on the board
nice.
as well.
Let's go.
A little bit less of a numbers game, and I have sources that say that there is a player that is a gap between Amen and Osar, the twins, and that player is Cam Whitmore. So if you think Amen is going 4, and you think there's one player in the gap of 2 of those players, it is nothing that is guaranteed lock or anything, but a very good source that's, embedded in these situations said that there is, a player in between the 2 twins, and that is Cam Whitmore. So that just made sense for me to go Cam Whitmore at 5. But I'll go ahead and take that and play it the other way and give out Asar Thompson at 6 overall for plus 185. Right now, that's the favorite, which doesn't make me feel any good of him actually going 6 overall. But and when I get to NBA, NFL draft, whatever connections I have in either league, and just whether it be people from however they know the players, I tend to trust those people. And I trust the thought process of the twins are very, very close to each other. Of course, Amen is the better shooter, so he's going first. And then Cam Whitmore is in between them, and then it closes out the other twin. So I'm just going to say that the other twin gets drafted very soon after his brother, 6 overall, plus 185.
Yeah, I mean, you guys both mentioned it, kind of connecting to your picks, but Amen Thompson, him going 4th, which again seems pretty good match here for Houston. They have horrible shooting. They need to improve it. Amen Thompson, seems like a great fit. And at minus 130, I like who is messing that up at number 4, Amen Thompson. Minus 130 feels like a great price.
Unless they trade for Harden. That's the only thing.
But you want to talk about sources? Everything I'm hearing is the Sixers are actually going to figure out a way to keep James Harden. So
yeah, if they keep him, then Amen's going to go there. But if he doesn't go, if Harden does get dealt, I'm pretty sure they'll pick Whitmore.
Okay. All right. So that makes but that would be an interesting. Yeah, because then what would happen with that pick? But yeah, Amen Thompson at 4 feels like a great price at minus 130.
Great name too, by the way.
Yeah, the Thompson brothers, and I even saw there was I think Gumby on our website sportsgamblingpodcast.com. He gave out some picks, and it's still out there. The price isn't as good. When he wrote it up, it was like minus 220 for Amen to go ahead of his brother. Now that's up to like minus 340. But from what you guys have said, that seems like a lock as well, right?
Yeah,
very much so.
It is
definitely he's getting drafted over.
Yeah,
and it's just It's the scoring.
Asor is the better one, I think, though. I
really?
Think, I think Amin is just more athletic, and he has the
better
ball
shooter.
more. Yeah, he has the ball in his hands more, so everybody thinks he's the better playmaker. But I mean, his brother is I mean, obviously there's the same genetics, damn near. So, but Amin is the better like athlete. He's like 99th percentile when his measurables and stuff is all 99th percentile. He killed a workout today. That's why the odds shifted. Like he was 140. It was minus 140 to go fourth overall, and now it's like minus 200. So
yeah, having coached twins before, I mean, there's definitely never two alphas. I'll put it that way. Like there's always one that's better than the other, and they usually know it too. So I bet you if you ask them, they tell you who the better one is. Real quick, because I was basically some of my handicapping for this stuff is just trolling around the mock draft databases. And one matchup that stood out to me is Taylor Hendricks and Anthony Black. Anthony Black is minus 230. Taylor Hendricks plus 180. Hendricks appears to be going ahead of Black in it's a coin flip. So I'm curious on Lonte take on this one. Why not just take the dog here? It seems like, and maybe you're going to tell me because you have him going after, but it seems like in about half of the mock drafts I've seen, he's going before. So plus 180, maybe a steal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe anything after I think 3 is pretty much up for grabs, to be honest with you. But so I would take more plus price. I got a lot of plus prices also, so I don't hate it. But I think that Black is like a prototypical guard, and I think Utah, Orlando would probably be able to pick him up rather than Hendricks, simply because Utah has a big in Kessler. The Magic have 2 bigs. They have Wendell Carter. And I guess if you want to consider him a big bowl. So I don't see Hendricks going that high. I have him like slotted to go to Dallas because I think Dallas needs rim protection, like a rim running center who can do stuff like that. And he's athletic. I just don't see any of the teams being a good fit. But then again, it's a plus price. We never know what these teams are going to do, if they're going to trade. I think it's going to be a chaotic draft myself. So I wouldn't put it past it, but Hendricks is one of those guys that I think I'm lower on. So maybe that's why I have him going a little bit lower, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Somebody can take a swing at it.
I also think, last year, I wonder, because historically the NBA draft has, like, the reporters have been pretty well informed.
Yeah.
And last year was a big wrench. And so I wonder if people are like reacting to the reaction of, oh, maybe the information isn't good this year. Anyway, I'm taking that Hendricks price. By the way.
Easy in the YouTube chat goes, I'm learning from the golf podcast. When the guests say maybe or I don't hate it, it's them being nice to us, right?
Wait a second. When the golf guys had me swap from Hadwin, who got speared on the 18th green celebrating the Canadian Open, for Keegan Bradley, turned out to be a bad choice. Good thing I didn't listen. Hendricks plus 180, motherfuckers.
Well, come on, Lonte and Terrell don't deserve that.
No, Lonte just got lumped in with Boston Capper.
I was very much listening and very much putting my own.
In fact, you know what?
Lineup.
I'll go a step further. Hendricks to go to the Pistons, number 5, I believe, is 18-1.
Okay, now we're talking.
Let's have some fucking fun.
Let's have some fun. Terrell.
Sorry, let's have some fun. I didn't mean to curse.
Terrell, what do you got next? NBA draft prop bets. What are we doing here?
Okay.
He said okay.
Let's see. Do we go with the long shot yet?
Yes.
Shoot your wad here. Give me. I thought I saw you tweet out a 40-1 or something tasty.
I did. That's the 40-1 that I'll give out. Nick Smith Jr. We're gonna take him 40-1 to be in the top 10 of the NBA draft. So 40-1.
Okay.
And
talk me through it.
So let's give a history of who Nick Smith Jr. is for those DJs that do not know. He is the former number 1 overall recruit in 2022 of the class. He ended up going to Arkansas. And when he got to Arkansas, he had a knee issue. He ended up missing the first 6 games for load management. And then that turned into him coming back sporadically throughout the season, missing a bunch of time. And when he did come back, he had some good flashes. He had some very good flashes. 25-piece to Oklahoma. Very, very good flashes in there. But it was not to the level that people thought that they were going to get. And they said he probably should have just sat out the year so he could maintain his draft stock. Now you go look at mock drafts all over. They have him slotted in between the 15 to 20 range. some people barely even have him in the first round. So I just wanted to come up here and bring back the history of
Yeah.
number one overall recruits to this podcast. So, starting all the way back with Anthony Davis in 2011, here are the draft positions of former number one overall recruits. Anthony Davis went 1, Nerlens Noel went 6, Andrew Wiggins went 1, Emmanuel Mudiay went 7, Ben Simmons went 1. Josh Jackson went 4, Marvin Bagley went 2, RJ Barrett went 3, Anthony Edwards went 1, Kate Cunningham went 1, Chet Holmgren went 2, and now you have Nick Smith. Nobody here fell down further than 7. So
I love
this
it.
as much as a knee injury, and I just need a team doctor to say that, hey, we believe in this kid. Because if you watch Nick Smith in the games that he did play and you watched him before, you know he is a pure scorer. He's probably arguably one of the best scorers in this entire draft. And he can absolutely have top 5 potential when he's fully healthy and he's able to go out there and play like Nip Smith Jr. He's just that gifted of a scorer. And so if I'm getting 40-1 for one, the history of number one overall recruits, they're always top 10 since 2011. And the fact that I just need a doctor to clear him and a team that wants to take a chance on somebody that had a knee injury, like, yeah, 40-1 is absolutely worth that. So I'm all in on Nick Smith Jr. going inside the top 10. And dare I say, somebody who just traded away one of their best scorers and somebody that is a really, really good scorer in this league and the Washington Wizards might have interest in Nick Smith, who just did a workout for them like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
I love the logic because the NBA especially is willing to take shots on talent. And, you know, you guys just mentioned it that, you know, after those first 4 guys, bit of a cliff, you're sitting there at 10. Why not take a shot on the guy who was the number one recruit? It's only, he had not an amazing year, a little bit of a knee injury. If they can clear him medically, this to me isn't a crazy path to get him in the top 10. And if they're going to take a shot on a guy, it's going to be a guy like that.
He certainly has. I mean, just kind of, again, trolling around the mock draft database. He shows up in the top 10 like greater than 0 times. So, which makes me think that 40-1's a nice price.
Yeah, it's literally only one. And if you're looking where I was looking, it's literally only one time that anybody had him in the top 10, and which is crazy because, again, in 1 year, a number one overall recruit who is a guaranteed top 10 pick has slid this far because they didn't like what he saw when he came back from a knee injury. Like, nobody's ever exactly who they were when they come back from a knee injury, but they still go on to have great careers. I don't know. I just think that there's a greater than not chance that somebody particularly either trades up or in the end of that top 10 just says, hey, we're going with the guy that we know is a gifted scorer.
Yeah, no, it's totally the type of guy someone would roll the dice on. All right, I'll toss one out here. Grady Dick.
Oh, I knew you were gonna have a Grady Dick prop.
Grady Dick.
There's no way he wasn't playing a Grady Dick prop.
Grady Dick under 10.5 draft position plus 190. I also like if you can find. I don't think it's quite out yet. I'm sure it will be by the time you probably hear this. But that him going exactly number 9 to Utah, I think makes a ton of sense. First off, he just looks like a dude who would be playing for the Utah Jazz. Like this is just the prototypical Jazz guy.
I resent that.
What does that mean? Yeah, what does that mean?
What are you trying to say?
He looks like he's
got hands that sparkle.
No, he's
what Drewski say? What do you mean by that?
He's a 6'8" white dude who can shoot the ball, which just seems like the type of guy the Jazz would draft. Danny Ainge says they're looking for better perimeter shooting. Again, he's 6'8". He shot 40%. Right? Like it just. The narrative is there. It's a former Boston guy coming to Utah, drafting Grady Dick, and you're getting plus odds. I like.
We saw how well Brown did in the postseason, just balling out with his leg tights from also a Kansas guy.
So I definitely went on another show earlier, and I said if Grady Dick gets into the top 10, then he definitely owes Christian Braun a check.
Yeah,
100%.
Oh
no, definitely.
Well, it's all right. So,
but I mean, just the Danny Ainge connection is what I was on to here at plus 190. Lonte, am I crazy for this? You can say yes.
Originally, I wouldn't have, but some like reading and stuff, he's not been as good in workouts, and as coaches have won him. So I think he'll fall outside of the top 10s. I have him going over like 9.5, over 10.5 at plus money from like earlier in the process.
I like that.
Okay,
I like that.
So,
CLB.
but the logic that you have behind the handicap is like a really logic one because Danny Ainge is known for the lengthy shooters. The Jazz does do need shooting.
Want to say it.
I'm trying to preface my words without saying Grady Dick's name as much, so it's hard for me to try to tiptoe around it.
Yeah,
can I get the breaking news drop?
Yes.
Sean likes dick while Delonte does not.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan already was doing some handicap back in the day.
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
So maybe Ryan wants to, get down in the post there.
That was when Grady was a youth sportsman. I'm a big youth sports guy.
Ryan thinks that again, he's tall, he's lengthy, he's an easy guy to box out. So he wanted to rub up on him.
It's the fact that Ryan said that he was in youth sports at the time. Play the drop one more time again.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is always. I want a dick rubbed on me tonight. Always promoting
about youth sports.
Why are you naming your last name is Dick?
Yes.
I assume you don't live in a cave somewhere and you're aware of what a dick is.
I would assume so.
Dick can be a couple different things.
Right.
Why would you put Grady in front of that?
What if his last name is really Richard?
No, I think his mom's last name isn't Dick anymore. I don't think she got married.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So he's the only dick left.
She got rid of that dick.
Last dick standing.
She got that dick out of there.
She dropped the D.
Yeah, I mean, I actually I was prepared to come on here and say I was able to find some in a faraway place offshore. You can find, and I loved your angle about Grady Dick. Yeah. I just think you had the wrong team. Oklahoma City Thunder. What better way to pair with Chet Holmgren?
Oh, okay.
That's another 18-1 for him, and it's 12th, which it's right around the total too. So the price, they're not taking more than $50. So I do have a max play on it. But Grady Dick to the Oklahoma City Thunder at 18-1.
Yeah,
I apologize. His mom and dad, their last name is Dick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Lonte later apologizes for the dick.
Whoever says we're not a legit organization. Lonte just did research on the fly and corrected a previous mistake made by ours.
That's reporting.
Yes.
What Mike Lombardi does on the airwaves is
this is going to be on ball sack
spectrum.
sorts.
Yeah.
All right, Lonte, what else you got? Draft prop bet wise, what else we cooking on?
Let's see if I can find a bigger. So I got Trace Jackson Davis from Indiana to go in the first round at 3-1.
Okay.
I have him mocked at going exactly 30 to the Clippers. I think they got the last pick in the draft. He fits a big need for them. But my logic is anywhere between 24 and 30, I can see either of those teams taking him. They need rim protection. He's good out of the pick and roll. He was working with Mike Woodson, who was an NBA coach, so he knows what to do as a big in the NBA, where to position himself. Has to get better shooting the ball, but I think he has all the tools to be a great defender. Fits well in Brooklyn, Charlotte, with Mark Williams, Indiana, especially if they want us to get off of Miles Turner, and especially with the Clippers because Zubac is always in foul trouble, or he just can't play consistent minutes and give you offense. So I like Trace Jackson Davis to go in the first round at 3-1 odds.
Funny enough, that was also on my list. Another one that kind of stood out. If you just scrape through the mock drafts, he does seem to squeak his way into the first round more than not. And you nailed the point. These guys all talk to one another. I guarantee his head coach being a former NBA guy.
That's got to give you that bump at the very end there, right?
And well, I mean, it's also a great work. Like, hey, he picks up the phone. He's like, hey, he calls a bunch of his friends. He's like, hey, get this guy drafted in the first round. It's going to help me recruiting in the future.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. That's how it's done. Networking
gets it done.
That's what Dick Olson taught me one time.
Terrell, any other draft bets you want to toss out here?
Yeah, I'll give you one more. I got here Derek Lively plus 225 to be drafted in the top 10. And I think this is more about a move up that somebody makes. And it could, because you could sit here and the Jazz could use some more rim protection. Like that would never be bad for them. You look at oh, we know the Mavericks could use rim protection. They're literally running out there with. I think this is the last. This is officially the last year we've seen Dwight Powell be a starting center. I think, hopefully, possibly. We'll see what the Mavericks do, but I really hope this is the last year we see Dwight Powell being a starting center. But Derek Lively here, and we're not talking about the offensive end because he doesn't bring you much there at all whatsoever. But it's the defense and the fact of how good he was at different points of the season, like literally dominating with blocks. And so, is there a world where you sit there and you see him going 10 to the Mavericks over a Taylor Hendricks? Absolutely, I can see that. I would not be surprised by that. Can you see a Atlanta or a Golden State? Like, if you're Mike Dunleavy, there's no way you let Draymond be the first decision that you make as, GM. Or you go on air and you say 4 years of Jordan Poole, like you're freaking running for president 4 more years, 4 more. Like that is not going to be the first thing that is going to highlight no, you're going to make a splash move. You're going to trade up and you're going to get somebody that's going to add
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
like
value.
that.
And so Golden State doesn't need a big. They need a big that can run the floor, and they need a big that can play defense. You don't have to be able to score. They promise they got that under control, but you got to be able to run the floor. You got to be able to play defense, and Lively can do both. So I think Lively has a pretty solid chance of being top 10. I'll take his plus 225.
Always love a good dog.
Right,
yeah,
that's a great bit.
Lonte, any more picks you want to toss out?
Yeah, I got one more, man. I love that pick by Terrell, actually. I got Keontae George. You can find first round matchups out here. I got Keontae George plus 155 going ahead of Jordan Hawkins. I got him going literally one spot above. If you read some of the stuff that the Utah Jazz are putting out, they love Keontae George. They got 2 picks inside the top 20. And they are like emphatic about taking him. And I don't think they put those reports out there if they're not like serious about him. So they're going to take him with one of those picks. Now, which one, it doesn't matter because I think Hawkins slides to the Lakers. He fits a better need for the Lakers. And Hawkins, I mean, while he's a good player, he's more so of a shooter. So he doesn't do everything well like Keontae George does. Keontae can score at all 3 levels. Jordan Hawkins fits the Lakers or some win now teams who can just need some shooting. So I think Keontae George at plus 155 to go ahead of Jordan Hawkins is a really, really good bid.
I was just looking at my cart, shopping hungry over here, loading up.
What else you got cooking, Ryan? Any other
basically anything Lonte says, or Terrell, but mostly.
What
Lonte.
about me?
Well, I mean, you're too, but
Okay,
we disagreed on the core element of the draft. Draft starts at the second pick, and we disagree with the second pick. Real quick, it's not draft related, but I do have an additional prop on Mr. Wembanyama.
Oh, okay.
I see some places out there are offering props on how many points, rebounds, and assists he'll average next year. 17.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2.5 blocks. The blocks is the only one I would be concerned about. Give me under on the other 2. Sean, I'm doing some basic ass research. This motherfucker has had a stress fracture in his fibula. He's missed time for fractures in his fingers. He's missed time 2 months for a shoulder contusion. And guess what happened to him in June of 2022? He had an injury to his psoas. Do you know what that is?
No.
Do you know what it connects to? Your fucking lumbar and spine. You're a giant fucking man and you're already having issues in your back. The T12 and L1 through 5.
Ryan, you want a hot take? Victor Wembanyama may be basketball's Jadeveon Clowney, where he blew up because of a couple highlights, but then when he's not a crazy take. He's not a bust. He's good. He's in the league for a while. Injuries, never that LeBron James type player.
Oh, I'll go way further than that. How's that kid that the Knicks picked in the top 10 in the 10th pick? That French kid. How's he doing?
Not good.
Yeah. Again, why are we picking the French kids? Why are we pretending like this kid's not going to be soft?
Easy says Terrell looks disgusted. Terrell, give us your prediction before we go for Victor Wembanyama. Where is he when it's all said and done?
I'm looking at. I just was curious at the leader of blocks for the NBA in the past few years, and Jaren Jackson Jr. last year at 3, year before that 2.2. You have Miles Turner at 3.3, 2.9 for Hassan Whiteside, 2.6 for Miles Turner again. Anthony Davis, 2.5. Like 2.5 for his blocks average
pretty
actually
high.
seems like a lot. Yeah, because now you're basically pegging him to walk in as a rookie and lead the NBA in blocks. And I don't know about that one. I think we might have to take the under on that one.
I
That
would
just
also,
seems a hair too high.
I agree with you, and I would also, if I was his doctor or coach, I'd just tell him not to jump. It's safer that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching a highlight here where he's dunking without really jumping. So, I mean, he barely gets any air when he dunks. He's so fucking tall. It's insane.
Yeah, but what do you think? Like one of these grown ass men is gonna do to this kid?
Nah, it's just like there's just so much more contact
and
in
also,
the NBA.
Media. Let's not call the grown men playing in the Euro League the same grown men that are playing in the NBA. As much as I like to make fun of the NBA.
Yeah,
come on.
Luka did say that the NBA was easier. The words came from. He said it was easier.
Fair.
Well, that's in. He played in one of the harder leagues, like overseas. Like that's one of the like. I heard somebody say that covers him. I mean, I don't know much about it, but I heard somebody say Luka at his teenage years, like they would have came over and beat anybody in the Final Four by 20 points. Any time that he was playing, they would have beat that team by 20 points.
Well, Luka, maybe less trash talk on the NBA when you squeak into the Western Conference as an 8 seed. You know, save some shit talking when you make it to the playoffs.
I'll give it a pass. Kyrie showed up.
The Knicks should have the 10th overall pick 100%. Like there is no. They absolutely made sure that they were going to fall at 10.
Lonte, Wembanyama, what's your prediction? How does his career end up?
Well, I mean, I think the organization that he's with plays a big part in how he'll develop, and they're used to developing big men.
Yeah, that's why the NBA sent him there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be like this, top 5 of all time type of talent. I mean, it's hard to even imagine he could be that. I would say a lower end version of Anthony Davis mixed with a little bit of Kristaps Porzingis. Just because of his length, he has to do better, like scoring the ball. He's not a good shooter, and he'll bulk up in some size. So I'm not worried about his size. He'll be fine there. But I think Popovich will develop him. And the thing with Pop is, I mean, he's not just going to give him the keys and let him just go out and do what he wants. Like he's actually going to be coached, and put in certain situations. And obviously, he's probably not even going to be playing in the summer league, from what I heard. Even though he said, to a guy in like a layup line that he'll be playing a little bit. I'm pretty sure that organization is not going to put that much stress on him. He just played a full season in the French league. So
Terrell's rolling his eyes about stressing him out by playing in summer league.
The greatest prospect since LeBron James.
Don't play him.
Since LeBron James is not gonna play in a summer league in Vegas.
I would be playing there.
He said a little. Now this is his words. You can hear him like interacting with the guy who's asking him, "Yo, are you going to play in the summer league?" And he goes like this, like a little bit. But reports before that were saying that the Spurs were kind of like not trying to put him through, any of that stuff after a long season, injuries. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read.
He's 19. Play some basketball.
He's playing 2 games.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you they got to protect him. So
Sean Bradley scored 6,752 points in his career.
Okay, over under.
Will Victor Wembanyama score more points than Sean Bradley?
Yeah,
for Spurs fans,
is that too
I hope
hot?
So. That's Kramer's hot take.
Should I have done Greg Oden? Is that a better one?
No.
He probably doesn't have 1,000.
Yeah, Greg Oden. Oh man, what does he have career?
Greg Oden has more career games than Zion Williamson thus far.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Wow, are you serious?
No,
I'm like
6, but I would if you looked up the numbers, I wouldn't be surprised.
Greg Oden.
I saw Zion play basketball.
Yeah, Greg Oden played a total of 10005 games in the NBA.
840 points. 840 career points. Sean Bradley, you're making me underrate his career.
His career. Pretty decent career.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Zion has played 114 games.
So not barely, that far off. Yeah.
But we're it's tight. It's tight. Zion scored 2,900. So Zion's still only halfway to Sean Bradley.
Yeah, Sean Bradley is still dominating.
Zion might not catch him.
I measure.
That's the better question. Will Zion Williamson overtake Sean Bradley in career points? Fire off in the comments.
Well, I think maybe Sean Bradley was also practicing load management.
Who knows what he was getting into? Way too tall for his body.
But think about it. What a genius move, right? Top prospect. If you never play him, he never stops being the top.
It never
prospect.
hurts his stock
at all.
That's Chet Holmgren's. Chet Holmgren's going to get injured again in preseason or training camp. He's just going to keep kicking it down the line. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast, the WNBA Gambling Podcast. We've even seen Lonte on the MLB Gambling Podcast as well. Follow Lonte on Twitter at XXLonteXX, and of course follow Terrell on Twitter as well at ReallyRel _. Follow Kramer Centric on Twitter at Kramer Centric. Follow me at Sean T Green on Twitter.
Wow, what's going
Toss
on
us
here?
a nice rating review. Always appreciate that. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Always appreciate the positive reviews. Maybe you might find yourself winning a nice little SGPN gift card.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he's Ryan.
Just played all 3 Wembanyama unders for next year.
Kramer, let it ride.